Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Well, this time it's not exactly a comic book. This is The Amazing Spider-Man Clash with the Rhino. And this is a children's book, one of the small floppy, was it 8 by 8, 8 by 10, whatever, 8 by 8 books intended for young readers. Of course, Spider-Man is the most popular Marvel character, and he gets used most widely outside of regular comics, graphic novels, the animated shows. It had probably more Spider-Man animated shows than any other Marvel character, and of course, bunches of children's books. Of course, they even used to have in comics the Spidey Super stories, in conjunction with the Electric Company, because they had their own Spidey Super stories on the show. And I wish I had. I used to have some of the Spidey Super stories issues, but I don't have any more, and I've never come across any. At least I don't. I never come across any of them. I used to. So this is, as I said, The Amazing Spider-Man Clash with the Rhino. This is the first edition, HarperCollins publication. Children's book from 2009. And they had several in this series. This is the only one I've got. This is written by Jennifer Christie and drawn by Andy Toney, with colors by Jeremy Roberts. Okay, Jennifer Christie, I can't find much about her, but she has also written some My Little Pony books, as well as some nonfiction books such as see if I can pronounce this, Tortuguero's Wildlife. I think that's an island, or a small country or something. I don't know. And then, then our colorist, Jeremy Roberts, he's a Canadian artist who has worked on Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad at DC, and X-Men, and others at Marvel, as well as at Image and Dark Horse, Disney, Warner Brothers. And now for the Rhino, for those who may not know, because he's not used as much as he used to be, he's a fictional supervillain character from Marvel Comics, created by Stan Lee and John Romita Sr. He's first appearing in Amazing Spider-Man number 41 in 1966. That was probably about shortly after that is when I got my first introduction to the Rhino character, because I hadn't seen him in the comics, but it's from the animated Amazing Spider-Man TV show from the 60s, that animated show. And I think that was also my introduction to Spider-Man. But that's where I first saw, his villains, Mysterio, or the Rhino, and the Kingpin, among others. The Rhino is a Russian thug, Alexei Sitsevich. Ooh. And he underwent an experiment that gave him artificial skin and superhuman strength, and he has become a successful criminal and clashed with superheroes such as, of course, Spidey and the Hulk. And he's been part of the Sinister Six. So, let's take a look. In fact, it's so short that I was just going to read the whole thing. And then there's the back cover of the Rhino. It's got the price stickers on there. It's has the artwork is nicely done, and it's done almost comic style, but not quite. I mean, not the art, but the visual storytelling, with some panels. As it kind of like was done in the '80s with the series of books the same size of Masters of the Universe, but they were, and I have done an episode on those, and they're almost comics. They have more panels, but they have more some dialogue balloons like this, and description boxes. Okay, here we go. Peter Parker sprinted into the building of the Daily Bugle. He sometimes took photographs for the newspaper to help his aunt pay the bills. Today, Peter was late again for a meeting with his boss, J. Jonah Jameson, and presumably this was at the time when he was still a teenager living with Aunt May and stuff. Here we see J. Jonah said, "The Rhino kidnapped the mayor's kid. Get pictures, Parker." That's not much, description of dialogue, but it's simple and easy dialogue, easy for children to read. So the Rhino had razor-sharp horns and superhuman strength. He also wore a special bodysuit made of tough rhinoceros hide. The Rhino worked for a team of greedy mobsters. After the kidnapping, he left a message from his bosses. "Pay up if you want the kid back." There you can see the... So, this was a job for Spider-Man. Luckily, Peter knew just where to find that superhero. Yes, he did. Spider-Man swung from one part of the city to the next, hunting for the Rhino. As he came near an old warehouse, his spider sense kicked in. And normally, it would not be this easy for him to find somebody, but... They have to really simplify the plots. Uh-oh, the Rhino must be close. It's a very nice Spidey figure. In their last meeting, Spider-Man had barely defeated the Rhino. Whoa, aren't rhinos supposed to be slow? Now, Spider-Man was ready to rumble with the Rhino again. He's sticking to the wall. Roar! Spidey swung toward the warehouse on a thick strand of webbing. He suddenly heard loud grunts coming from above. Ooh, nice double-page spread. And Spidey just evading the Rhino's charge. "That's a lot of Rhino," Spider-Man thought as he pulled himself onto the roof. "Easy, big fella. I get the point. Now, where's the kid?" The Rhino shot Spider-Man a furious look. Then the enormous beast charged forward. Stomp, 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 stomp. Spider-Man recovered quickly and jumped onto a nearby fire escape. Suddenly, his spider sense tingled. The kid is definitely in there, Spidey thought. He whisked through a window and into the dirty warehouse. Good crashing scene. Spider-Man needed to move fast. The Rhino was big, but he was surprisingly swift, too. Boom, boom, boom. The Rhino caught up in no time. Leaping onto the fire escape, he smashed right through the window frame. "So, the little spider wants to be the big hero." "You're not too smart, are you?" He charged Spider-Man at full speed. Spidey swung up toward the ceiling. Woo! "You can't hurt me. I'm the Rhino!" The Rhino pulled his gigantic body out from beneath a pile of bricks. Spider-Man waited until his enemy was back on his feet before making his move. "Rhino?" "More like wine-o." "Wah, wah, wah." "You think your web goo can stop me? It didn't before." But Spider-Man was prepared. Earlier, he had loaded both his shooters with a special web fluid that could freeze anything. Spidey fired a stream of webbing that instantly stopped the Rhino in his tracks. Thwip, thwip, thwip. and he's covered in ice. My horns, my armor, they're freezing! The Rhino stood completely still. Spider-Man easily wrapped him in layers of web silk. He reached for his camera. A pleasure as always, Rhino, but I have a kid to rescue. Oh, before I go, say freeze! Click. Peter Parker handed in great photos of the Rhino, but Jameson's barked. Today's news is old news. I need new pictures, Parker. Peter Parker just could not win. But at that moment, not even Jameson could ruin Peter's mood. And there on the inside back cover, some ads for some other books in this series, as well as some for even younger readers. And it's fun to delve out into some of the other areas where these characters dwell, as well as within the pages of the regular mainstream comic books. So that's all I have to share with you this time with The Amazing Spider-Man. Clash with the Rhino. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man. Do, do, do. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there. There goes the Spider-Man. Do, do, do. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, welcome friend, he's ignored, action is his reward. To him, life is a great big hang-up, wherever there's a bang-up, you'll find the Spider-Man! Oh, and remember, comics are art.